Alright, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another sad, dark, and all-around depressing day on the internet. Apparently, Kwite finally responded to the allegations assigned to his name today. Now, unlike most YouTubers and whatnot, I actually watched the entire video start to finish while playing Destiny 2, instead of just, getting what I could out of it and then running to go make a video because I'm thirsty for clout. I watched the entire video start to finish while playing Destiny 2. And to my surprise, well, let's face it, everything about the video was all around surprising and pretty dark. So if you don't really like to talk about dark and somewhat all around depressing topics, go ahead and click off the video now, or skip to certain parts that you don't mind seeing. With all that being said, we can go ahead and get right back into the content of today. Alright, let's go ahead and just get the elephant out of the room. Yes, Kwite actually revealed his face, probably in the most saddest way he possibly could. Personally, when I saw that his face was in the video, I didn't click for his face, I clicked because of the allegations levying towards his name. And the reason that I clicked the video because of that was because I needed to know whether or not this man genuinely did these things, unlike all of these other YouTubers. All these other YouTubers that have come out about allegations towards themselves, majority of the time, they said that they were in the wrong and deleted their channel. Cyrus, for example. Now, no, the allegations towards Kwite are not entirely 100% correct. He didn't force anybody to do anything. He didn't yell at anybody in a way that should have hurt them. Everything was completely 100% deserved that Orion got whenever it came to Kwite's anger. Alright, so basically, Kwite, being the kind and generous person that he was, he had a lot of anxiety. He still has a lot of anxiety whenever it comes to his face and just living like a normal person. Majority of the time, that's what most faceless creators deal with, is anxiety whenever it comes to, showing their face, living like a normal person, without having to be walking around and constantly being asked for pictures 24/7. Now, basically, Orion, on the other hand, was basically using his very own depression and anxieties and whatnot to keep Kwite around because he knew that Kwite was a very nice person and a very, very generous person. Now, when Orion made videos supposedly exposing Kwite, it didn't expose anything about Kwite because Orion didn't say anything about the sexual assault or rape in this case in the video. Kind of just kept that out, kept it disclosed, and put that only on Twitter, where the masses could genuinely see it, because Twitter is where things usually unravel. Orion basically guilt trips Kwite into staying around, and apparently one thing led to another. They went to a movie theater to go see Black Panther, and Orion claims that Kwite, just pushed himself onto Orion. Now, Kwite's thing with that whole situation is Kwite is a virgin. Even to this day, he's still a virgin, and he would not push himself onto anybody strictly because he's anxious about those type of things. He's anxious about his sexual attention and everything like that. Now, Orion would go on to post normal stuff about Kwite in the Discord server, the official Kwite Discord server. He would put personal things about Kwite's life in there, and eventually would go on to, I'm pretty sure, expose Kwite's face to a couple people in private, which Kwite did not give permission to do. And I'm pretty sure he would never give permission to do. Pretty much the entire time throughout this drama and this beef, or whatever you want to call it, Orion just played the victim the entire time, while Kwite had to stay quiet so that way he could get all of his evidence together and decide what he wanted to do next. And mainly because of his anxiety and whatnot, and depending on what his community would think about him, he didn't want to make a video on it because you know how the internet is. Whatever you say can get used against you at any point in time. It is what it is. It's just what the internet is. And as a, person that makes these commentary videos, I 100% understand where Kwite's coming from in terms of waiting to respond and waiting to reply. Now, Kwite showed a lot of evidence. He showed way more evidence than Orion initially could show. Orion claims to have been touched, kissed, blah blah blah, whatever. Kwite literally says that he has done none of those things to him. He did none of those things to him. Mainly because he felt uncomfortable during the entire interaction with him. Now, Orion would constantly make sexual remarks to Kwite in normal conversation, and Kwite would have to just brush it off and just slide past those remarks, mainly because it felt uncomfortable. He didn't want to have to speak about those things, and genuinely, he does not like being talked about in that manner in any sort of way. And that's basically the entire gist of the Kwite Chronicle here. Main thing being, he did nothing to this boy. He did nothing to anybody. He is 100% innocent, and if you say that he is guilty, then obviously you have no brain, you can't think, and you don't follow any kind of Twitter history or YouTube history. Thank you, and I will see you guys next time. Love you, and bye-bye.